So I'm back, and I wanted to share a recipe for all of my family and friends who wish to learn how to make a nice roasted chicken that's really easy to do. And I'm sure there's a lot of other videos out there, but those who want to learn the way that I basically do it, it's pretty easy, so I think you'll enjoy this. So it's very basic, easy, simple, and yeah, I think it'll be a good video for you guys. Okay, so we'll get started on how to do a perfect roasted chicken. So I have my recipe, and I'm going to follow off my recipe, okay, because I wrote it down, and who knows, maybe I'll do a cookbook. Okay, so let's get started, and we're going to wash our hands, and I'll show you how to do this, okay? Make sure you have a tub with your sanitation in there. I know that I've stressed this out a few times, but make sure you have a bucket where you put your sanitation towels and your hands, and for your any kind of towels, and not your hands, but for your sponges and what you're going to use to wash your dishes, or your towels, or whatever you're going to use it. It's good to have to wipe down your sanitation bucket. So usually if I run out of sanitation solution, I will use a little bit of bleach and some nice soap, disinfectant soap, and basically and keep it in my, and I use it every day, so I dump the old water, and then I'll put a fresh tub of water in there. So okay, so I started off with chicken. My favorite chicken is farm sustainable grown chicken, which is grown here in the farm land, and because I want to know where my chicken is being produced, and I go to a local store, which is a co-op store, and they do a lot of, they're very picky on, it's a little bit pricier, but they do a lot of all the footwork for you in selecting the best chicken. So I think I've shared that before, and also I dry it out. I'll clean it up, dry it out, and it's been dry, so you can see that it's pretty dry. So, and if you're going to leave it in the refrigerator, sometimes you can dry it out for a few hours, and then you want to basically leave it in the refrigerator, maybe uncovered, and then you'll see the juices or the liquids from the chicken or the poultry seeping down, and so you want to take that and dump it, and then put it back, and then it'll be good. So anyways, okay, so I'm going to take my poultry, and I'm going to cut it. So what I basically do is take my poultry. See, it's still a little bit wet, but that's okay. So I'm going to cut it. I'm going to take my paring knife, and I'm going to cut off the fat first and foremost, the fat. Okay, so I'm going to take off, and then what I'm going to do is cut the back of the chicken first. So basically, you just use a sharp knife, okay? If you need to hone your knife, it's really easy to hone. You need one of these after you sharpen it, and then you could just kind of hone it like this. And that hones it. It means it smooths out the edge where it'll be a little bit sharper than what you're used to, okay? So I wanted to show you that first and foremost, but okay, I was a little distracted. So I use a couple knives. This is my everyday knife, and basically what you can do, you can leave your chicken like this, which makes really pretty. If you want to make a presentation, that would be pretty. You can season, season it up, and then lay it on the rack, and then you have like a gorgeous, stunning chicken. But this time I'm just going to cut it in half, and I'm going to start with my, just take my deboner here. This is a deboner, and then, I don't know, this is a regular 10-inch knife. So, okay, and then I'm going to take that, and then you kind of want to split it, like, so I have my chicken and my thigh hooked together. You can leave it like this, or you can cut that in half, and I'll show you how to do that. And I usually leave the back on. A lot of times chefs will take the back off and use the back as for stock, or if you want to make a stock, you could do that. Okay. And then take my deboner again, and you can see I cut in between the joints, so it makes it really easy to cut. So okay, there you go. And then if you want to keep that whole, you can, or you can actually cut that in half, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm basically going, oops, let me just go ahead and use this. And sometimes people use cleavers. I sometimes will, be careful you don't cut your fingers. I'll try to, yeah, that bone, the backbone is what's doing it. Here. Let's cut that in half like that. There you have it. I'm going to do that because I'm going, the more you cut it, the more the meat, you can spread the meat out. And, or if you're a single person like me, I'm not, this is not a promotion on being single, but you can also store this in your refrigerator. And for all those who are single, you basically enjoy your chicken, and you can do other things with it instead of, well, gee whiz, I'm just like not finding the joint. Here's a joint right here, so you kind of want to break it like that, and then you cut it. Sorry about that, struggling when there's no need to struggle, because it is really easy to do. So basically what I do is just kind of cut that like that, and then just cut it like that. Okay, so I'm going to wash my hands real quick here. Okay, so I can handle my spices and everything else. Make sure, and sometimes you could just keep your towel on the side right here, which makes it easier, so you don't wipe your apron. I've done for years, and keep it on the side there. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside. So we have our chicken. Our chicken is cut nice and neat. We've taken all the excess fat off of that. Yeah, that backbone is but I'm just going to leave mine on just for right now because it's just for me. So, but if you're doing a presentation, I would definitely remove it. Remove the bone, because it's just better for presentation. If you're working in a restaurant, you can, like I said, you could use it for stock. Okay? So a lot of things happening in the back kitchen while people are enjoying their meal in the front of the house. So this is the back of the house. versus the front of the house. So I'm going to take my extra virgin olive oil and kind of use a bowl. And that's like what? 3 tablespoons, a quarter of a cup. And then I use, sometimes you can, if you want, you could use, you can actually use some fresh, and you can grate like fresh garlic, and you know, that's like the new thing nowadays, you know, you grate the fresh garlic if you want. Or you could use some granulated garlic, which is what I'm going to do, because to me the granulated garlic is a little bit more, it's a little stronger, and it's already gone through. Oh, it smells so good. It's like cooked garlic. It's already been dehydrated, and oh, it's just nice. But if you wanted to have a different flavor panel, then go ahead and use the fresh is better. It's much better, of course it is. And you could do the same thing with your onion. I'm using onion powder, but you can actually grate your onion in there, and then it'll kind of make it like mushy and almost to a liquid. I'm going to put a little bit of smoked paprika, just a little, okay? Some salt. You know, and I didn't put a lot of salt. That's probably about a teaspoon of salt, like a big pinch. And then maybe like, I don't know, 1/4 of a teaspoon of, not even a 1/4 of paprika, probably a 1/16, I don't know, a pinch, a smidget. Actually, you can get some, I think it's pretty cool. You can find some little measuring spoons that have smidget, pinch, and a dash. So I probably used a pinch of the smoked paprika. So then I'm going to go ahead and put a nice pinch of the pepper. And then I'm going to go ahead and try not to cross-contaminate. So I'll get another little board here and get another knife. Just a knife just so I can cut it. And what I'm going to do is, because I want a little bit more of that lemon flavor, I'm going to zest some of my my lemon. Wake up! So that's going to give it more, and make sure your lemons are clean and washed. And that's going to give you more of that lemon, that lemony, yummy lemon flavor in there, okay? And then I'm going to take my knife, okay, and then squeeze that in there. Squeeze a whole lemon. And I love having it. It breaks down the the fats. It helps to bring some nice flavors with all the paprika, the onions, and I mean, you could use Cajun spice. You could use pretty much any spice that you want. You don't have to stick to a panel of specific spices. You can explore your spices. If you want to make a blackened chicken, you could do that by adding a little bit more of the smoked paprika. Let's see, I think I'm going to add just a little bit more. So I'm kind of looking at my recipe and my own recipe. Sometimes I get in my little zone, and then I just kind of want to figure it out in a different world, I guess. So I'm just going to mix this up. It smells so good. And you can even taste it if you'd like. It's not going to hurt you. So I'm going to taste. Ooh. Probably put just a little bit more of my salt, and then maybe a little bit more pepper. then, you know, yeah, that's really yummy. Okay. I'm going to take my chicken, pieces of chicken. I have my oven, before I started, I have my oven preheated at 350. Actually, it's supposed to be preheated at 400 for 45 minutes, and then you lower the temperature to 370 for 15 minutes. So it'll give it plenty of time until the chicken reaches a temperature of, the internal temperature of your chicken will be 165. So even though your chicken is organically grown and it doesn't have all those nasty little chemicals that people are putting in chicken that come from overseas to try to preserve the chicken, that's something to consider on your chicken. Because you go to mass productions, then unfortunately their chicken is going to be at a different quality. So I'm sure you've seen a lot of videos out there where they pump up your chicken with a whole bunch of solution. No bueno. But we consume it. So, okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and put my pieces of chicken on there. And put it in the oven for about, like I said, 400, and then lower it. Okay, so and I'll come back and I'll show you how to do that, okay?